Welcome and hello, everyone. I am looking forward to sharing something really important that I see all the time that at first glance looks like a really positive characteristic. It is a characteristic that many people celebrate and want to achieve as a goal in life. But wanting to achieve this goal is actually a sure sign of a negative generational pattern. And it is something that can stand in the way of your true happiness. It'll stand in the way of your happiness, your abundance, and love. It's not that this specific goal is inherently a bad thing. As I said, there are many reasons why this goal might be considered a positive thing. However, when I encounter people who have this goal or who celebrate getting closer to this goal, it tells me a lot about how they see the world, how they view their place in this world, and specifically how safe they feel in the world and their relationships with others. Now, before I tell you what this goal is, I'm going to describe a few characteristics of people who have this goal, and I want you to listen carefully to see if anything that I describe sounds like you. Okay, here we go. I am talking specifically to people who have the following characteristics. You're either single, divorced, or you're in a relationship. You bring more money, more stability, or resources to the relationship than your partner. You are capable, in capital letters, of what I mean by this. Although you may not see yourself as really successful in your own right, you have the ability to figure things out and keep moving in the direction of your goals. Another word to describe you might be resourceful. If something needs to be done, you don't tend to wait. You don't wait around for help. A common example of this would be you decide you want to rearrange your furniture in your living space, but you don't wait for a second pair of hands to help you. Oh no. You just figure out how to move the large pieces of furniture around all on your own, even though it will take you twice as long as if you had help. Another characteristic might be you fill in the gaps. You see a need you know you can fill, so you fill it. This might be in your career or business projects, your home routine, or your role within your friends or family relationships. If you can do it, you do it, and you wouldn't think of getting someone else to do it, even if it is not convenient or the best use of your time. Possibly you're a businesswoman and you're launching your new coaching business and you work from home. Because you work from home, you will fill your day with all kinds of responsibilities that have nothing to do with your business. It might be childcare, cooking, running errands, volunteering, or taking the dogs to the groomers during the hours that should be you're working on your business because you can. You wouldn't think of allocating some of the family resources towards hiring someone else to do these things because you can do them, even though it is spreading you too thin and you cannot focus on your business to the best of your ability. There just isn't enough time nor energy. Maybe you fall into the pattern that you're the person who all the extra stuff at work that doesn't fit into anybody else's specific job description gets dumped on you because you again are the resourceful and the capable and that person, right, that everybody knows if they give something to, you will always get it done. Here's another characteristic. You have a hard time accepting compliments or help or gifts. In fact, you may even be a little suspicious of people who want to give you something for nothing, even though you have no problem doing this for others. If a crisis hits, let's say you break your leg and you are in a cast and you can't drive to the office, even if a coworker insists it is absolutely no problem for them to drive you to work until you are better. Nope. You will opt to take an Uber or a taxi so that there is zero chance that you are putting someone out. Do you realize that it isn't really that silly of an example? Because you could see yourself doing this, right? And if the opposite situation was true and it was the coworker who broke their leg, it does not matter how inconvenient it would be. You would insist on driving them to work until they were better. You with me? Ultimately, what I am describing here is someone who is hyper independent. You are capable, resourceful, and giving. You may or may not be financially successful by the world's metrics, but you pay your bills. You have a roof over your head and food on your plate, and you will give somebody in need what they need. You're always available. But you also keep everyone at arm's length, even if you are in a lifelong partnership. You would never put yourself in a situation where you were dependent on your partner, or you would not be happy in a circumstance if a circumstance occurred where you need to be dependent on your partner. At the same time that you find it hard to receive help from others, you often take on too much and say yes to too many things simply because you can. And the irony is, one of your fears is being taken advantage of, which can happen more often as a result because you want to help others so much. This is what, that you're being independent about, how you earn your worth in many ways. You also consciously or unconsciously celebrate the fact that you are independent and you don't need anyone. You feel secure being dependent to depend on yourself and nobody else. You know that depending on others is risky because people have failed you in the past. You never want to feel like a burden or have someone ask you for something that you need. No. So, as much as this way of living lets you feel really secure, you are missing out on the best parts of life, relationships, and community. When you have walls that are so high that you cannot accept a compliment, never mind help that you could actually use, you are missing out on a big part of the human experience. When the thought of looking weak or vulnerable to another person is one of your biggest fears, your biggest uncomfortabilities, you cannot connect at the deepest level. It's not possible. The messy levels, the levels where you can show someone your true self. This hyper independence is seen as a badge of courage, a badge of honor, but it's not. It's a trauma response. It's a protective mechanism that you are employing so that you remain safe and secure, so that you will never be disappointed because you depend on or trusted the wrong person. You never want to have to owe someone, so you never accept anything from anyone. There are too many root generational patterns that hyper independence can stem from. And it is important that when you are removing this block, You know which root, and yes, there are multiple. It's where it stems from. It's never one thing. No. This is one of the things I do in my masterclass. I teach you how to identify which generational block or pattern or belief is causing the negative outcome so that you can effectively remove it. But what I want to share with you today, and to those who specifically recognize themselves as having this pattern of needing to be hyper independent, this is a block to your true abundance and happiness. You may be comfortable in this space of being hyper independent. It's what you know, but you will never achieve the deepest desires of your heart while also trying to remain safe on an island. I work with a lot of singles, a lot of people in a relationship who have a deep desire to be closer in the relationship, to have a deeper connection, singles who want to be in a partnership. But they have this hyper independent personality that is at odds with what they truly desire: deep trust, deep love, deep connection. We were placed here on earth to grow and to be in a community with others. We were never meant to be an island. If you have been hurt or disappointed by others who weren't there for you, and your response to hyper independence, this is simply a protective mechanism. But when you adopt these types of protective mechanisms, you create your own blocks to true happiness. Because these own blocks to your happiness are the walls that you put up around yourself and to the world. It's right, that you have to need to constantly be in a protective mode in order to be able to operate and navigate the world around you. On some level, you believe the world is not a safe place and that you cannot be dependent upon people to help you or accept you. If you are anything less, right, than independent, you only know how to show up in independent for other people. The worst thing you could ever be called by someone is needy. Ooh, needy is icky, isn't it? Am I right? Yeah, I understand you. If you want to achieve your heart's desires, you need to work on your hyper independence. It sounds really scary. I get it. But once you remove some of the underlying inherited patterns and the assumptions that contribute to this defense mechanism of independence, it can start to dissolve very quickly, easily. And on the other side of the block is so much more beauty and love and connection than you could ever imagine. So, if you want my help in removing this pattern or any other pattern that is stopping you from achieving or receiving all you are here to do and have, I would love for you to join me. I would love for you to attend my upcoming masterclass. I really want you to attend. I am offering some high value bonuses for early bird registrations, and you can get all the information on the landing page. Dear ones, don't live your life in protective mode. Don't let the fear of letting your guard down stop you from receiving all you are here to receive and experience. It's not worth it to stay in this mode. I want to help. I'm sending you lots of love. I know there is more available to you. And I'll see you on the other side.